So I'd just like to unpack some of the meaning in the home song. It came to me when I was on a spiritual journey in Pachamama. I had an amazing 3 days, really feeling connected to the universe and having that kind of feeling. And that song was just flowing. A couple songs were just flowing through me, just totally my whole being. And it was really, mind blowing. And so I'm just really inspired to share the songs and what they meant to me and what I think they mean to you and to all of our global society. So I'll start with the word home. What does it mean when I'm saying home? It's a spiritual context of being comfortable in your own skin, belonging in having your soul live in your body and know that and have an integrated relationship with that, where you feel at home in yourself and where you know who you are and you know why you're here. And it's an unshakable commitment to being your full self, with your soul as the driver of your life. That's being home. And it also means that we as humanity are home on planet Earth. This is where we've developed as this whole chain of being through the millennia, from the very first spark of life, however that occurred, which I'm always so curious about, and developing so slowly just through drives and need and just this will for life to grow and become more complex and survive. It's this drive that has created us through time, through this kind of like trial and error, chance, and just happened to this, you survived or not, and you made it, and it somehow is built up to this beautiful species of humanity with art and science and civilization and complex organization, complex thoughts, wondering about the universe becoming itself, seeing itself, telling the stories of love, of pain, fear, jealousy, of gods. And we are in a phase right now where I think to develop in some way, we've broken away from our relationship with the earth. Our minds have got very strong, and we've really figured out a lot of stuff and started trusting in our minds the most. As a society, the mind is right, the rational is right, and the other things are a little bit interesting, but not as important. And it's time now, we've gotten to the phase where it's time to come back into integration, to be like, yes, our beautiful minds are important and wonderful, and our beautiful, intelligent hearts are not to be forsaken. When we know that the way we're running our corporations and our global ecosystems, we know that it's so out of whack, that it's so unfair, and that it hurts so many people and hurts the environment so much. We know that in our hearts and in our souls. We can't set that aside and say, oh, well, we live in the real world. This is just what we have to do for the economy to keep growing. We can't do that anymore. Like, our hearts know better. And if we let our hearts lead, our minds are smart enough when we work together to figure out that we can still have an economy that works in line with nature. Like, we're not that dumb. And we seem to be dumb sometimes on the collective because certain powerful interests sort of take over the narrative. But we're not. We are smart enough to figure it out. We just need some processes and some frameworks and some things that everyone can hook into that organize life properly. And we are working on that at the Hague Center and the Together movement. We're building that seed of that structure, and we're going to soon be ready to like invite people to on board with this and to help co-create it and to fund the first round of it. So that's where we get our hope from, and like I believe that we're smart enough. I believe that it's possible, and we're working together to build it. We have to build a whole new system from the outside because the people running the current system their whole energies, intentions, and salaries are doing the very important work of keeping the current system going. They don't have the capacity, the time, and the talents to actually be building a brand new system that needs to be built. We have to build the brand new system and then makes a transition process that is not too painful for everybody, where everyone's invited to come along, and we once it's big enough and functioning, there can be some bridging processes that can be peaceful and organized. We don't have to fight. We don't have to fight our way through the challenges of the century. We don't need a World War III. We don't need any apocalypse zombie movies. We don't. We just really have to commit to each person plugging in and creating this new home, this place, this way that humanity has come to live and organize in a way that we're home, that we're connected with life and nature, that we recognize that we're children of the earth. And then when we destroy the earth and we destroy ourselves and we destroy the future of life, I mean, yes, of course, like life will survive in some form, even if we make big mistakes, but let's not make big mistakes, you know? I'm just really talking from my heart. I think that's why I'm crying. It's like a deep truth as well. Sometimes makes people cry, right? And what's really important when you really can articulate it and share it with someone else, I think it's really powerful. So I just want to thank you for witnessing this, and just really glad that I'm sharing it. And I just encourage you to share more of what's really true for you as well. And not to be afraid of tears, not to be ashamed of tears. Tears are, for me, when I'm crying, I think, oh, this means I'm learning, this means I'm growing, and this means I'm healing. And so I think it's really important that we're able to look at our pains and our shadows and face them and heal them with a positive view on them, to not be ashamed of who we are and what we're becoming. That was kind of a long way to talk about what it means to be home, and also kind of how we can get there. Obviously, it's really important to me. It's my life purpose. Sorry, just try not to look weird. Oh, home.